Hello everyone, Madeleine Lynch here again from Tim Bray Theatre Company, and I'm joined today by Gail Rotherham, who is the business manager, is that right, Gail, for the company? I'd like to learn a little bit about what you do. You pop up occasionally on stage in an introduction at the gala, but it'd be really good for people to actually know the role that you do behind the scenes for the company.
Oh, thanks, Madeleine. So my role at Tim Bray Theatre Company is, excuse me, Business Development Manager. And I've been with the theatre company since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And my the main programs that I look after at Tim Bray are the gift to seat, outreach, our accessible programs and volunteer program, and I manage the fundraising for the theatre company.
Great. That's quite a few balls that you juggle then for the company. How did you become involved with Tim when you started in 2012?
Oh, okay. So just a bit of backstory. When I first came across Tim Bray Theatre Company, I was actually an audience member. So I went to see a show, I can't remember what year it was, but it was The Owl and the Pussycat, and my children were very young at that stage, and we went along with their grandmother. So she introduced us to Tim Bray Theatre Company. And so I think I saw two shows, and then in 2012 I was approached by the then Business Development Manager, Louise Saunders, and to be the event manager for Harry Maclary, which was a special event which we put on for Charles and Camilla when they came to New Zealand for the 50th Jubilee celebrations. Oh, so nice. That was quite an experience. Yeah, so we held that at the Bruce Mason, and it was a big deal. Yeah, it's very exciting.
The pathway to the company, first starting off as an audience member, is the story that a lot of people tell, whether they've, the children have come through to youth theatre or, involved in actors or in supporting in some way. That key thing that, coming through as an audience member just keeps reoccurring. It's a reoccurring theme.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And I hear in the role that I'm doing at the moment, I do hear stories like that. Yeah, people's involvement and how it's changed. They might have been an audience member and then they become a volunteer or something like that. Yeah.
Where do you get your ideas from, your inspiration from when you're, developing business ideas for the company?
Well, first of all, we have a strategy that we work to, and a plan. So everything's got to sort of always come back to that and come back to our mission, which is really important around, making accessible theatre to all and igniting imaginations and for children and young people. So it's all got to come back to that and be focused on that and around our values and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've done a lot to make the theatre, the shows, more accessible to those who wouldn't maybe not normally be able to either afford to come or find that type of entertainment suits their abilities, their needs. So what have you developed in that range?
Absolutely. So for many years we were staging the NZSL, New Zealand Sign Language Interpreter performances for many years. So we've had a relationship with Kelston Deaf Education Centre and been inviting them along for years.
And one of the translators now, I see Melissa regularly translating for Jacinda Ardern.
Oh, yes, she is. Yes. And she's also in our crisis appeal video. I don't know if you've seen that, but she's in that. But a few years ago, I suggested that we try the audio described performances. I wanted to make theatre accessible for sight and visually impaired people and children, and so that was quite a big focus. And now in December we staged our first sensory relax performance for children and young people and adults with neurodiverse, and on the spectrum.
Yeah, and the uptake's been good in all of those.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
And with the visually impaired, is it all of the autism? Is it just young children, or do you have adults as well who come along to these performances?
There's a wide range. So there's children, adults, young adults, teenagers, grandparents with. So there might be grandparents with that are sight impaired that come along with their fully sighted grandchildren, so they can share that experience. Yeah, it's really lovely. Yeah.
What's it been like for you during the lockdown? I imagine you haven't had a holiday like most people who are in the arts organisations during this COVID crisis.
Not at all, no. We went into lockdown and quickly realised that we were basically not looking in very good shape at all as a theatre company because of this, and we had to find a way to save the theatre company. So we launched a crisis appeal, which I've been managing, and it's been our silver lining. Basically, it's been astounding how many. Sorry, I get a bit emotional when I talk about this because hearing a lot of the audience members' stories about why our theatre company is so important to them, for their children, and what the impact our programs have had on their children's lives is phenomenal. So yeah, really, it's why I do what I do. I get a lot of joy out of it. Yeah. I know that when you have schools coming to see the shows and you get feedback letters from children and from teachers, but I imagine now hearing the direct impact personally on families and on children is really, important and really emotional for you. It is. Yeah. It's really kept the team going as well, because we've been sharing these stories with the team at Tim Bray Theatre Company, and it's been hard. We really didn't think we'd be where we are now, and things are looking a lot more positive for us.
That's great. So that's one of the positives. I was going to ask you about positives that have come out of this, type of crisis, but that would be one of them. Would be the support that you've had from those who believe in the company.
Absolutely, and believe in what we do. Yeah.
It's a very family orientated company, being children's theatre. So I just wanted to ask you about your own family and their involvement that they've had with the company.
Oh, right. Yes. So initially, the children were an audience member like myself, and both my children did some youth theatre programs. They did a Hit the Stage and also a couple of youth theatre, what we call Break a Leg now. And also Veronica, they come along to the gala, of course. They love that. And at one stage, my daughter was asked to be, because she was in the youth theatre program at the time, she got asked to be an elf in the Santa Claus show. But it was very short notice because we'd already cast, and there was a set of twins that were the two elves that year, and they were fighting on stage. So we had to we had to
remedy the problem. Yeah.
remedy the problem and bring in the young budding actress that she was, and I think she had one rehearsal and then she was off on stage, and
oh great. Wow.
She loved it. Loved it.
Thrown in at the deep end of a crisis and managing very well.
Yeah, she loved it.
What's been the most significant or memorable moment for you while you've been working for Tim Bray Theatre Company?
There's been quite a few, and most of them I've mentioned already. You know, like obviously the highlight was one of the highlights was doing the royal performance of Harry Maclary and being introduced to Charles and Camilla in the lineup. So that was loads of fun, lots of work, but loads of fun and great rewards. And hearing what the impact the children our programs have on the children is huge for me. And seeing firsthand the growth and confidence of a lot of children that come along is pretty powerful. Great.
All right, Gail, well, thanks for having a chat with me. And I know that, you know, we're really looking forward to seeing the next show back on stage at some point. And I truly believe it will get there.
We can't wait to
your guidance, your guidance and the belief of the people who support the company.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Madeline. Lovely talking to you.
And you. Thanks, Gail.
Take care. Bye.